Winter's chilling grip can claim lives, and hypothermia is its silent weapon. Recognizing the signs is the first step to survival. Hypothermia, a medical emergency that occurs when your body loses heat faster than it can produce it, leads to a dangerously low body temperature. It's a silent killer, creeping in without warning, and if not treated promptly, can lead to heart and respiratory system failure. So what are the signs of this icy reaper? The early symptoms are often subtle: shivering, mild confusion, drowsiness, and a feeling of being cold. As the condition worsens, the shivering stops. You may experience fumbling hands, slurred speech, sluggish thinking, and eventual unconsciousness. To stand a chance against hypothermia, prevention is paramount. Here's how you can keep the cold at bay. First, dress in layers. Your base layer should be moisture-wicking to keep your skin dry, followed by an insulating layer to trap the warmth. The outer shell should be wind and water-resistant. Don't forget to protect your head, hands, and feet. Up to half of your body's heat can be lost if these areas are not well insulated. Next, stay as dry as possible. Wet clothing loses all its insulating value and transmits heat rapidly, so avoid sweating by removing layers if you're feeling too hot. If you do get wet, change into dry clothing as soon as possible. Lastly, consume warm, calorie-rich food and drinks. Calories are a unit of heat. Without them, your body lacks the fuel to produce warmth. Hot liquids can also provide a much-needed heat source, helping to raise your core temperature. Knowledge is your first defense against the cold. Remember, hypothermia is deceptive. It can make you feel tired and tempt you to lie down in the snow. Resist the urge. Keep moving. Keep warm, and keep your wits about you. Stay warm, stay dry, and stay alive. In the frost fight for survival, knowledge is your best weapon. When the grid goes down, staying warm becomes a challenge, but fear not, we have solutions. The first line of defense against the cold is to keep your living space warm. Wood-burning stoves are an age-old solution. They're reliable, efficient, and can even double up as a cooking surface. Remember to stock up on dry, seasoned wood well in advance. But what if you don't have a wood-burning stove? Propane heaters are a fantastic alternative. Compact and portable, these heaters can make a big difference in a small space. The key, of course, is to ensure that you have enough propane stored safely and securely. Now you might be thinking, great, I've got my heating sorted, what's next? It's time to think about insulation. Heavy curtains, rugs, and blankets can help keep the warmth in and the cold out. Even simple hacks like sealing cracks and gaps in doors and windows with duct tape can make a noticeable difference. One critical point to remember, regardless of your heating method, is the need for ventilation. It's a delicate balance, keeping the warm air in and the cold air out, while allowing enough fresh air to prevent carbon monoxide buildup. Carbon monoxide is a silent and deadly gas that can accumulate when fuels are not fully burned. So ensure you have a carbon monoxide detector in your living space and keep it in good working order. As we've discussed, having a backup power source is a game changer. Small setups like a power bank with a foldable solar panel can power small appliances, lights, and even a small heater. Plus, it recharges itself every day. Having these emergency heating solutions in place is not just about comfort, it's about survival. They can help prevent hypothermia, frostbite, and other cold-related illnesses. With the right tools and precautions, you can keep the cold at bay even when the power goes out. So, let's not fear the winter darkness. Instead, let's prepare, adapt, and conquer. Food is fuel for warmth. But how do you keep it from freezing, and how do you cook it without power? In the cold, dark days of a winter blackout, food is more than just sustenance. It's a lifeline, a comfort, a beacon of hope. But when the power goes out and the temperature plummets, keeping your food from freezing can become a real challenge. Let's start with storage. The ideal solution is to store your food in a cool, dry place, like a basement or a root cellar. If you don't have access to these, an insulated cooler can also do the trick. Fill it with your perishables and place it in the coldest part of your home. The insulation will help keep your food from freezing solid, while still keeping it cold enough to prevent spoilage. Now what about cooking? With no power, traditional cooking methods are out of the question. But that doesn't mean you have to resort to cold canned beans. A camping stove can be a lifesaver in these situations. Fueled by propane or butane, these portable stoves can cook a hot meal in minutes. Just remember to use them in a well-ventilated area to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning. If a camping stove isn't an option, consider a solar oven. These devices harness the power of the sun to cook your food, even in the dead of winter. They require a bit of planning, as they work best when the sun is high in the sky, but they are a safe, reliable, and energy-efficient way to cook your food during a blackout. And don't forget about non-perishable foods. Items like canned goods, dried fruits, and nuts can provide vital nutrients and calories without the need for cooking. With proper planning and preparation, you'll have a menu that sustains you through the blackout. Remember, in a survival situation, every calorie counts. So, plan your meals carefully, conserve your resources, and stay warm. Your survival could depend on it. Water is essential for life, and it's crucial to prevent your pipes from freezing. Let's dive into the icy waters of frozen pipes and how to manage them. In the unforgiving cold of a winter blackout, your pipes are at risk of freezing. This not only disrupts your water supply, but can lead to costly damage if the pipes burst. So how can you stave off this frosty fate? The answer lies in prevention and preparation. Start by insulating your pipes, especially those exposed to the cold. Pipe insulation is inexpensive, easy to install, and can be a real lifesaver when the mercury drops. Don't forget about those pipes in colder areas of your home, like the garage, basement, and any outdoor faucets. But insulation isn't the only strategy. A small, steady stream of water flowing through the pipes can prevent freezing. So, leaving faucets dripping might just be the trick to keep your pipes from turning into ice. Now what if your pipes have already frozen? First, don't panic. It's important to thaw them out slowly to prevent them from bursting. Start by opening the faucet that the pipe feeds into. This will allow water to flow out as the ice melts and will relieve any built-up pressure. Next, apply heat to the frozen section of the pipe. Now, we're not talking about a blowtorch here. That's a disaster waiting to happen. Instead, use a hairdryer, a heat lamp, or even a hot towel. Remember to start from the faucet end and work your way down to the frozen area. This way, the melting ice has somewhere to go. If you're unable to locate the frozen area, can't access it, or if the pipe does burst, it's time to call in a professional. It's better to be safe than sorry when dealing with potential water damage. Remember, water is life. Keep it flowing, and it will keep you going. When the night falls and the lights go out, how do you banish the darkness? The answer lies in preparation, creativity, and a good understanding of safety measures. Let's start with the humble oil lamp. It's a classic for a reason. An oil lamp provides light and a bit of warmth, and it can burn for hours on end. But remember, safety first. Keep oil lamps out of reach from children and pets, and never leave them unattended. Next up, we have hand crank flashlights. These are a fantastic addition to any prepper's survival kit. No batteries? No problem. A minute of cranking can give you 10 minutes of light, and it's a great way to keep those hands warm. But what about when the sun goes down and the cold really starts to bite? That's where solar lights come in. They soak up the sun's energy during the day and provide you with light during the night. But remember, they need direct sunlight to charge, so place them strategically and always have a backup. Candles are another option. They're compact, long-lasting, and easy to use. But like oil lamps, they come with a fire risk. Always keep them on a stable surface, away from flammable materials, and never sleep with a candle burning. Now let's talk about glow sticks. They're not the brightest, but they're safe, portable, and don't require any energy source. A glow stick can be a lifesaver in a pinch, especially if you're on the move or need to signal for help. Finally, let's not forget the most basic source of light: fire. A well-maintained fire can provide light, heat, and a way to cook food. Just be mindful of ventilation and fire safety. Each of these light sources has its own strengths and weaknesses, and the best approach is a combination of several. Planning and preparation can turn the longest night into a manageable challenge, not a desperate struggle. Even in the darkest nights, you can find a beacon of hope. Let there be light. In a blackout, being cut off from the world can be dangerous. Staying connected is crucial. When the power goes out and the lights dim, you're not just losing sight, but potentially vital information. So, how do we maintain that all-important link to the outside world? First up, battery-powered radios. These little lifesavers can tune into local news stations, weather updates, and emergency broadcasts, keeping you in the know even when you're off the grid. Next, consider satellite phones. They're not just for action movies. These devices bypass traditional cell networks, reaching out to orbiting satellites for a connection. They're your best bet for two-way communication during a blackout. Finally, don't underestimate the power of emergency alert apps. Download these onto your devices before a crisis hits. They can send you crucial updates and alerts even when the lights go out. Remember, keep the lines of communication open. Information can be your lifeline. Your furry friends also feel the winter chill. It's our responsibility to keep them safe and warm. Even in a blackout, pet care is paramount. Pets need a cozy shelter, away from the biting cold. Blankets, heated pet beds, or a warm corner in your home can make a world of difference to them. Keep their meals regular and nutritious. Remember, they burn more calories to stay warm. Ensure a steady supply of unfrozen water. Dehydration can hit in the cold just as hard. Livestock too need special attention. Barns and stables should be well insulated, and body heat from clustering can help keep them warm. Stock up on extra feed, as they'll eat more during colder months. Water access is crucial, so invest in heated water troughs to prevent freezing. In a harsh winter, every life counts. Keep your animals safe, and they'll keep you company.